What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
And this is not another damn podcast.
Their podcast.
Presented by our damn
selves.
220. Episode 220.
Yes.
Right now. Getting up there. About halfway through August right now. So
yeah.
Pretty much summer's it's the dog days of summer, they call it.
Yeah.
Down, back to school time for those that are students. And for those that aren't students, but that are sports fans, is the beginning of football season. That's how you know the fall is coming.
Right.
If you're a student, it's back to school time. If you're not, it's okay, football season. That's how you know, okay. And we get some preseason football. So I've seen a little bit of Justin Fields in action. He's looked solid so far. So I'm the Bears. I'll start the rookie day one. Like throw him right into the fire. I know they got Andy Dalton. They went out and got him. So they have options for the quarterback. Either go with Fields or Dalton. I throw Fields right into the deep end and see what he got. Because if he struggles, you can always bring Dalton in, the veteran.
Right.
Like, have that option, but let's see what the rook can do. That's just how I would coach it up. They probably gonna start Dalton because that's just the traditional thing to do. Like, yeah, you have to earn your minutes. It's nothing given. And rookie is like, but I'd throw him right in the deep end and see what he got. That's just me. But
I say positive stuff about him. Like I didn't watch the game, but from what I saw,
I've looked at highlights because I missed the game as well.
Yeah,
checking highlights.
And from what I saw from people, they were saying that he looked good.
He looks solid.
That's what the my social media posts have been indicating from my friends and stuff. They were like, "Oh yeah," it was like he looked good. The rookie looked good. I was like, okay.
I say throw him.
That's encouraging. That's encouraging to see.
Because if he's not ready, you got Dalton. You ain't got to worry about finding a backup. You have one. It's like, okay, then now we can run with Dalton while the rook figures it out. Like, but I say throw him game one. Week one, I put him right in. I start him week one. Just want to see what this kid got. That's just all.
Hey, what you got?
Especially like you traded a lot to get him, like to move up in that draft. You gave up a lot, like play him. You don't trade that much to like sit a guy. Like you got to play him. You give me
right.
That much draft capital to get this guy. Like, let's see what he can. That's just my thing. And I just wanted to start off with that. I didn't mean to go on a sports rant. I know that shit, but yeah, we're gonna come back to sports. Let's put that on the
shelf.
It's all good. So, yesterday was interesting. I know you all did Bud Billiken.
Yeah, by the time you guys hear, but then like it was Saturday, but it'll be Monday by the time you guys hear.
Yeah, we premiere Monday morning, 5 a.m.
Right.
Yeah, every week.
So the Bud Billiken came back after not being able to be last year because of COVID. So this parade has been going on since 1929. So this is the 92nd Bud Billiken parade. I've been to probably over like 35 or so. Like I've been to a lot. My children have been every single year, obviously minus COVID. And it was just good to just be out there amongst the people. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that crowded because, it was modified. The parade route usually goes from 39th to Washington Park, but it was modified. It started at 45th this year. And they say it was only for this year because of still the pandemic. So they would say it's just modified only for this year. Only for this year, we're just modifying it.
I hope they keep their word on that, because what they also modified, which you probably don't know because you were out there, is is no live broadcast. It's the first time that I can remember them not doing a live broadcast, because what they're gonna do, which like when I was reading from their website, which they actually it's like they taped and they're gonna run highlights. It's gonna be like a highlight reel, and it didn't even air live. They're gonna run it next Saturday.
Next week, because I saw that they said they're gonna run next Saturday the highlights.
Like it's been the live broadcast, because it was on WGN back in the day with Mary. All our lives, but then eventually it switched to Channel
ABC.
7, with Jim Rose and
Cheryl Burton
and them. And used to have
Cheryl Burton always wears her green shorts, and then she goes and she jumps double dutch. Like when the double dutch people come out, and she always goes and jumps double dutch with the double dutch ladies. Yep. You
always have like a radio person there, like Ramonski Love has been up there.
Yeah, he was there one year.
One night they had Steve Harvey and Doug Banks were there together one year. It's like a radio person. rest in peace, my girl Trudy Williams is out there.
Yeah.
Did the sideline reporting. So like it's always been like that, yeah. They had Brad out there one year doing it. She was doing the sideline with
I hope they change that. I hope that changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because now that you've mentioned it, I'm like, nobody was really out there.
That was just because of the shorter route, like that no live broadcast. I hope because the broadcast is a tradition too for those that can't make it to the parade. Just click it on, it's on 10
watch it from the TV,
yeah. On TV, you can watch it, yeah. So but didn't air this year. So I hope that was just a one-time thing because of the short route.
Right.
Yeah, we'll find out next.
But it was nice though.
Hopefully nothing one-time thing as well too. We weren't in the parade. Well,
you guys weren't in it. Yeah.
Crawford Broadcasting usually is deep out there, like all Chicago stations. Power 182, Power 106, not Power 106, Rockford, my bad. 106 Soul 106, and with WYCA Rejoice 106.
Yeah, they usually be out there in the 3 floats. Yeah. Like deep.
Yeah, they had one vehicle out there this year.
Yeah, they had the 106.3 truck. And I don't know who was driving it. I couldn't recognize who was driving it.
I wasn't out there, so all I know. And shout out Sierra was out broadcasting in the park. So we did keep our live broadcast. Like TV didn't broadcast, but radio was out there because Power 82 always does a live broadcast in Washington Park. Yeah, because I always jump off the float when we pass in the table. I always jump off and like high five, hug the personality, whoever's over there.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to homie G-Ski was out there one year, and I remember that one. So today is as we record this, today would have been his birthday. So happy birthday.
Happy heavenly birthday.
So that's one of my memories of G-Ski is hopping off on that route before. Yeah. We had different jocks out there before, and G-Ski hop on. Yeah, what's up, G-Ski? And then get up. Yeah. Always broadcast live somewhere too, whether it's Facebook Live, Instagram Live. I Snapchatted one year.
You Snapchatted 1 year.
I've done that out there. Those memories are coming up with Bud Billiken and Bozo memories came up on my time. I told you like the hilarity of that shit is like what's funny about that is the shit that we didn't record. I'm like we're just saying a lot of dumb shit to Bozo like collectively all of that.
Y'all is ignorant. How y'all gonna pick on Bozo?
Y'all grew up watching Bozo, so we just decided
the grand prize game.
That's a roast Bozo just for no. I think I probably started it knowing. Yeah,
I'm sure you did.
Jumped in on it. It was just.
But it was just nice just being out there. The mayor was out there. She was one of the first people that went by because she was with her group. When she was walking, she was like right next to us. Can we look at it? It was like, oh, it's against the mayor. And then, she waved at us and everything. And then
mayor's usually in it every year. Like Rom was in it when he was mayor and Daley was in it back in the day when he was mayor. Like the mayor.
I saw JB's people, but I didn't see JB out there because I know usually the governor said, but I saw his people. I saw his group marching.
I think back in the day, I want to say Harold Washington, we were little, was out there.
He probably was.
I think most of the time the mayor is usually near the front of that parade, like you said. So that's
Cam Fox was out there.
Okay,
it was a lot. It was a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of the Chicago people, and then of course some people who were I said because it's always going to be elections. Like people, it's like vote for me, Alderman so and so. I'm the so and so ward. Like they were out handing out their flyers. The different.
Don't forget, JB's up for election next year. So
yeah, he is.
Our early campaign, and I'm surprised he wasn't out there. I guess it's a little too early. He'll probably definitely be out there next summer because that'd be right in the middle of election season then. So he'll definitely be out there next summer.
Yeah, and then we saw Jesse Jackson. So we saw his vehicle ride by. And he was sitting.
Senior, not Junior. Junior ain't invited. No,
not Junior. Yes, the father, the daddy.
Disgraced Congressman Jesse Jackson. You won't be seeing him attend.
No, Senior, the daddy was out there. Yeah. I was like, look, Mama, it's Jesse. And she's like, where? I'm like, right there, Mama, it's Jesse.
Irregular. He rode with Power 182 one year on the Bud Billiken float. The year that I wasn't invited. Just because they left me off one year and that sucked, yeah. I went on a rant. I went on a radio rant because they had me on the air that day.
Yeah, I remember.
And I went on the air and ranted a little bit about that.
And then you never was uninvited again.
Yeah, that was something.
Oh, and
I'm lucky I've been fired.
Which McCall was out there? Bobby Rush was out there. So Bobby Rush is still doing it. He was out there. We like, damn, Bobby's still doing it. Yeah.
Congress is almost like being a pope, like getting in Congress.
Right. I'm like, damn.
You got to really fuck up to lose. You got to pull a Jesse Jackson or a Mel Reynolds. You got to really fuck up to lose those jobs. Once you get in Congress, it's pretty much a lifetime job. You come in Congress.
We not Jesse. We were like, how old is Bobby?
Bobby Rush,
how does Bobby now?
I don't ever remember Bobby Rush not being in Congress.
Me neither. Like my whole life, he's been there. My whole life. So
another job that's lifetime. It seems is Secretary of State because like how long Jesse White?
White. I don't even remember Jesse White. Yeah.
I remember before when I was taking driver's ed, it was I think George Ryan. I want to say was secretary.
Yeah, I was gonna say it said Jim Ryan George. Yeah, because I remember seeing that briefly.
Jim ran for governor. Yeah, it was George.
Okay, that's where it was. I remember briefly.
George's former disgraced governor. He was Secretary of State when I was taking driver's ed back in the day. Then after he became governor, that spot was vacant. That's how Jesse got it. And I mean Jesse White got it then, and he's been it ever since.
I remember the people.
Damn near 30 years at this point, probably.
I remember like mom getting like my mom and dad like on their old stuff. It did say Ryan on there. It's like when the mail would come. But then by the time I got it, then when I got my
license has always had Jesse White.
It's always had Jesse White, my license.
Because he's been.
By the time I got my license.
I think since '98. So yeah. So unless
you had, I got my license in '98.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure every driver's license you had has had Jesse White on it.
Yeah, I remember mom and dad.
I had a George Ryan license.
Yeah, I remember mom and dad's having someone else. Yeah, but not me. Not me ever. Right. But yeah, it was just I was just really happy. Like the kids looked happy. Of course, South Shore drill team, they always show out every year. They was killing it. Which McCullough killed it. Of course, Jesse White Tumblers, they killed it. They kill it every year.
Shout out to them. They were featured on the Shy recently, Jesse White.
Nice.
You know, the Shy, they use authentic Chicago. So like they were featured in a segment. So look at Jesse White Tumblers. Okay.
Bees Angels were out there. They were holding it down for B, who was tragically killed earlier this year. Their captain, and they were out there representing him. They had their angel wings on, and they were out there doing it big for him. And yeah, it was just nice just seeing everybody just, try to get back to normal. And, like they're like, this is the back to school parade. But Billiken, that's what, if you don't know, it's the back to school
unofficial kickoff to back to school, even though school doesn't start till a few weeks after. But that's officially back to school mode, pretty much.
It's like good things that happen. Like usually people are out there. They didn't give out as many supplies this year, but normally it's like people giving out school supplies. It was a group that was at the parking lot. It was like a church that was like down the block, like on 49th, I want to say, and they were in the parking lot giving out school supplies. I think they were from Rush Hospital because they said we're giving out school supplies to noon, and they're like, if you want to come, come over and get these school supplies. So I mean. That's a great thing that I do love that organizations do is do like the back to school giveaways and stuff, because them supplies be something. Try to go with supplies for some people. It can get to be expensive. It can. But it was just so great being out there. I loved just seeing the people and you see the hustle people out there. You people out there with their grills selling their food. Yeah. You saw people with the snowball people. You saw the candy vendor person have their chips and like their candy station set up. So they were out there. The vendors.
It's like generation, like I said, you're there, your mom is there, your kids are there. So it's like generation to generations.
And then of course, like the hustle man with the little balloon things. I said I had to get them for my kids. The little inflatable things
and even I wasn't out there at the parade, but we hooked up afterwards, and I'll tell you about our day afterwards. Yeah, because I didn't report on this previously because it was all about G-Ski, so I really wasn't talking about but a couple weeks back, Power 182 finally released their 20-year anniversary billboards. Like 20 years the station has been on. It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
I've been there since day one. I'm actually the one who started the station off for those.
Flip the switch, yeah.
I was born up on duty. A young Oz man, when he still had hair, was like on duty. I had braids. I once had luxurious braids. Then I was on duty back then. I started the station off, and the 20-year billboards. I'm on it. It's my first billboard ever since being at the station, and they've done billboards like since day one, really, pretty much. I remember the original billboard featured Doug Banks like standing over the city skyline. It's like, and they've done like numerous billboards, like because Doug Banks was the original morning man with Power 92. They've done billboard campaigns, like some with jocks, some without jocks, some with celebrity picks. It's like they've done different types of billboards.
Yeah.
But all throughout, I was left off all of them. I was left off every time, but not this time. We put the entire staff, the current staff that's on Power 92. So you see my face, Oz, man. 2 to 5 a.m. Monday through Friday. Yeah, you see me up there. I'm on the top row, third from the right. Yeah, so 3 is my lucky number. Yeah, so there we go. So we made that definitely, and some idiots.
And the funny thing that happened is that, you took me to see the billboard because you wanted me and the kids and mom to see the billboard after the parade.
I said, meet me over here. Yeah. So we met.
So we went over and
there's one out in not Dalton in Burnham. One out there. And I said, meet me over here by this corner, Torrance and Dalton Road.
State.
That's why I'm getting Dalton Road. Is it state over that way?
It's state, yeah.
The exit is Dalton Road, but I guess it becomes.
But by the time you get over there, it's state, yeah. So we met you over there, and and so like I take the kids out, and then they're walking, they're like, okay, and I'm like, look up, what do you see? And then Khalil's looking up, and he's smiling. He's like, Uncle Oz, it's Uncle Oz, and he's pointing and smiling, saying, it's Uncle Oz.
Meanwhile, Ariana's
like,
why are you on a billboard?
It's
hilarious.
What she said.
That's a perfect example of kids say the darndest things right there. That's a perfect example.
I was like, baby. And Khalil was just happy. He was like, hey. He was smiling. He was happy. But Ari, she was just like
proud. She was like, yeah, well, I see. And mom was proud of it. So I've never been on one. I had to show it. So I got to show my people.
Yes. And I'm gonna post it. I got to post it on my social media to show. Cause I took a picture of you with the kids. With the kids there with you.
My girl Tiffany saying I'm a superstar now.
Superstar. Superstar.
Billboards now. But you can check that one out, and they say they're gonna be all over the south and west side is where it's so like be on the lookout, see the Oz man.
I wanted to be on Stony Island right there on by the Skyway. That's a good spot for the billboards. I know that's like a high traffic billboard. They usually put like the good billboards, you know what I mean?
Another one is 95th near the metro, like on like near Cottage Grove, like going.
When you're going
westbound 95th, like right before Chicago State. It's a nice billboard right there above the truck.
Right, it is.
I like to be driving west on 95th and just see myself like, okay. Because Doug
driving,
what made me think of that? Because Doug's billboard was there. That's what made me think of that one. Because his was that.
Of course, you're driving Dan Ryan 87, 79, 81 right there on the Dan Ryan. Would be good.
80. You the one like 85th, I think, on the Dan Ryan where the old lips were.
Where the lips.
There's a billboard there.
The lips.
Put me there where the lips were. Yeah, because everybody remembers the Magic Kiss lips from back in the day. So now it's a billboard there in that spot. Yeah. So there you go.
Congratulations to Oz.
And I had to take a picture of me standing in front of my face pointing. It's like, yep, that's me on the billboard. Yep. And
I made it.
I didn't expect the response that I got, but I got a huge response. So shout out to all my people, whether it's my peers, family, friends, students, is like it's coworkers. It's like people just showed me a lot of love. I got a lot of interaction. I'm not gonna read all of it right now because there's hundreds of like interactions I got on that. So but feels good though. Definitely.
Nice. Yay.
You want to move forward serious or where we want to go? Yeah.
What you got? What's serious? Let's see what you got that's serious.
Let's start with one we missed. I don't know if the story came up before or after last week, but a story about Dr. Dre's daughter. Let's start there. That's a hell of a yeah.
It was kind of like it had started a brewing, I want to say, but we had already recorded, I want to say. It was starting to brew then. It was starting to like be chair about it.
Yeah. But apparently Dr. Dre's daughter, who's damn near 40 years old, by the way, she's not a girl. She's a grown-ass woman. She's a grown-ass woman. Saying she's homeless now. She launched a GoFundMe to try to raise $50,000. I think the last time I looked at it, it was like less than $400 when that thing. So people are like, miss me with that bullshit, kind of like they not, yeah, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
And she has 4 children. But her children are living with relatives. The children are not homeless with her because, like she said, that she's living in her car, but her children are living with relatives. So her children are not living.
Never been married because her name is Latanya Young. She still has her father's last name. Unless she married a guy like that, whose name is Young as well too, or unless she's just going by her maiden name. But I assume she's not married. Like I said, yeah, it has never been because she's still Latanya Young. So 4 kids, not married yet. She's living in the car. Says she had to do DoorDash to like make money. It said Dre cut her off last year or something like that. So he was still giving her money. She was like over 35.
He was still giving her an allowance. Like he was still giving her a monthly allowance. I forgot what they said the allowance was, but he was giving her a monthly allowance and he was paying for something.
Said my kids are staying with friends. They're not living in the car. It's just me. I'm taking odd jobs just to make it now. I got paid $15 an hour as an assembler at a warehouse. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while.
Which is like, I mean, I'm not being mean, but I mean, that's a lot of people's story, unfortunately, in America, because a lot of people are hit with debt. Like most Americans do live paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans do live above their means and do rack up a lot of debt. And debt doesn't necessarily have to mean credit card or that you did frivolous. Debt could mean that you took out student loans. Student loans is what's eating a lot of my people. I know student loans. A lot of my peers, they talk about these damn student loans. They're like, man, like this.
And that's what we got to change the narrative on that. It's like, stop taking out fucking student loans. You got to change the narrative on that shit. It's like, why are you taking $100,000 loans for a job that's going to pay 40? It's like, what
it's crazy. The way they made it, it's set up for you to. It's set up for you to fail. Like I mean, the way that they put it to you, like they know what they're doing. Like they keep you in the trap. Like they keep you in the hamster wheel. Like it's stuff that they can do to modify. Like Congress, you guys can modify, make college more affordable, so people don't have to do that. Make it more affordable. Just saying, it's ways you can maneuver some numbers. You poured out stimulus money. You pour that out of the air seemingly, so you guys can modify school.
Still reading what Latanya Young and shit. She's here's the real story right here. So what Nicole got is what my mom should have got, basically talking about the $3.5 million.
The $200,000 a month or whatever she's getting.
300,000, by the way.
Yeah. Whatever she's getting, 300, yeah, whatever.
Like it adds to about $3.5 million a year.
Yeah, she's a million. Yeah, she's a millionaire several times over. If she never marries and she just, which she probably is never going to marry again, because why would you give that $3 million? You a fool if you give that up. You get $3.5 million for not working a year. Come on now.
The real thing is like she's mad because Nicole is getting all of this money and she wants her cut.
Here's the thing. Nicole was married to Dre for like 24 years. Mm-hmm. They did have 2 children. Mm-hmm. We don't know the circumstances as to why they broke up. Like it is some alleged abuse from what
out there, but we don't know what really happened.
Right, we don't know what happened, but they were married the bottom line is they were married 24 years. That's a long time to be married to someone. It wasn't like you married someone and then
Latanya's mother, her name is Lisa Johnson. So I doubt if her and Dre were ever even married. It's like unless
common law unless they did a common law thing.
Unless you went
California
back
recognizes it, doesn't
I don't know if I didn't bother looking up, but I don't think Dre was ever married to this chick.
Yeah, I think that California might recognize common law. They might. Because some states do recognize the common law marriage. Some states
do the math. 38 years ago was way before Straight Outta Compton came out.
Yeah, it's like 1980.
Dre didn't have no money and shit then, basically.
Yes, 1983. Yeah.
Straight Outta Compton didn't come out till like 88 and shit or something like that. It's
right.
Like way before that fucking album.
That's when he was doing the thing where he was on the record. You know, where he was like the dancer thing.
Before the fucking with Wrecking Crew.
World Wrecking Crew.
I can't say it. World Class Wrecking Crew.
There you go.
I don't think that was around in 83 and shit. He was just a Negro from Compton. No, it was just he was
DJing gigs here and there.
Good old girl and shit. So
my thing is, so the reason why the allowance even got cut off is because they were saying that Dre had heard her talking shit about him, basically.
About him, and he cut her off in last January.
And he cut her off, like, okay. It
couldn't have been any worse, too. It was right before the pandemic was about to start.
Yeah. So, okay, you want to talk shit about me?
In March, yeah. So she lost his money right when the world was about to shut down.
And my thing is, and here's how I feel about stuff like that. As I said, I'm gonna bring this back when the guy's pointing to his head. You can't rely on people's money if you make your own money, as I point to my head. Like, it's like if you're dependent, as long as you're dependent on somebody, you have to follow their rules and regulations and their guidelines. The second that you step out of their box, you can get cut off. Like, if somebody, I don't get that. I don't understand. Like, I know people who put themselves in these positions. I'm not necessarily talking about her, but I'm talking about people who they rely on a family member or whatever the case may be to take care of them. And then you want to have attitude and be like, well, you can't tell me, and I'm grown, and then you want to do all that, and it's like, you're not grown though. If you have somebody like paying the majority of your bills and footing the bills and taking care of you, you're not self-sufficient. You can't. You don't have the money to talk shit. You don't. I'm not saying it makes it right, but like you get like people who, if you're worth like several $1 million, and like if you're an asshole, whatever, okay. Like, yeah, you still shouldn't be an asshole because easy come, easy go. It could easily get taken away from you. But if you talking shit and you ain't got a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of, you gotta eat that humble pie.
A whole nother addition to this conversation, especially in the Black community, is about how long are you obligated to take care of your grown ass kids? Because I don't know about in your comment section, but in mine, like a lot of people are acting like just because you have a kid is like you got to take care of them for the rest of your life, pretty much. It's like I was like, I don't feel sorry for LaTanya Young. You're grown, you're 40 years old almost. It's like if you haven't figured it out by now, that's on you.
And here's the thing that I feel:
a $50,000 GoFundMe, that's on you.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing that I feel like: if you are in a position like Dr. Dre is near billionaire status, he's worth like $850 million. So he's worth money several times. Like the fact that he can afford to give his soon-to-be ex-wife $3 million a year.
It is probably nothing.
It's not going to hurt him because people buy Beats headphones still. Hello. He's gonna make that back.
It's like me having to pay a chick like $300 a year, like $30 a month or something like that. It's like him paying that $300,000 is like me having to pay like a chick like
exactly
$30, like nothing. It's like
it's not going to affect you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like my feeling is that if you are in a position where you're blessed and you have money on top of money, your kids, like, you got so much money that you've built so much legacy, first generational wealth that the next 6 generations of your family is going to be good. I feel personally, it's exceptions to every rule, so don't come at me, it's exceptions. I feel like you shouldn't just give out money because that just creates codependency. You should not give out money. However,
he was giving this.
I said you should not give out money because you don't want people to become codependent on you. However, you should give opportunity. What I mean by opportunity is that, okay, I have this pool here. I'll get you an interview into this company, but you still got to show up at the interview on time. You got to act right. I'm not giving you the job. I'm just giving you a door to walk through. you still have to walk through the door and do shit on your own.
How do we know he wasn't doing that? This chick seems useless.
No, I'm saying for me. I'm saying this is me. I'm talking about mine. I said this is when you say what people say like how long you should take care of your kids.
I don't think go fund me to raise $50,000.
Right. I don't think that you should necessarily do that. I think that you should provide opportunity so people can become self-sufficient, so they can build their own legacy. Like I said, if you have a shortcut for somebody, open up that door, but it's still their responsibility to walk through the door within reason. I'm saying if the person is a fuck up and is going mess, like don't do it for that. No, you know, like what I mean. You know what I mean when I say an opportunity. You know what I mean when I say that. But that's what I would say, instead of just writing out checks and give it, because like that just creates codependency, and people really don't appreciate it. Like it's one thing if it's under a certain age, but if you're over 30, you 35, you 40, you shouldn't still be getting allowances at that age. It's me personally. I don't think you should still be getting allowances at 30, 35, 40. It's just, no, I don't think you should.
And here's the line that here's the line that nobody's talking about in this article. That the opening line of this statement, my kids are staying with friends. Where's these kids' father?
Yeah.
Hasn't been father or fathers. I don't know if
father or fathers. I said we don't know the situation.
One guy, but where's the father / fathers?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're not involved. They stay with friends. The father's not involved in like.
See, you thinking like a DCFS worker. See, this is where I put my DCFS hat on. Because in DCFS, we always say that every child has a father, which is true. Whether the father is involved, because it takes a sperm and an egg to make a baby. It takes a sperm and an egg. So
it's a father. Out of this jam and shit. Yeah,
it's a father. So unless the father is deceased, because some people, you may be a single mother by circumstance like that where it isn't beyond your control.
Yeah, I was saying it wasn't mentioned whether it was alive or dead. The father wasn't
right, but it wasn't even mentioned.
It said friends. It didn't even mention anything.
So if it is a father and he is alive and kicking, he's in his right mind, he's not in jail, he's not a drug addict, he's not a pedophile, he's nothing fucked up, then he needs to be in his kid's life, because it takes two to raise a child. It takes two to tangle. That man needs to be in these kids' lives. Plain and simple. If you make a baby, you should not leave somebody to take care of a baby on their own. You should not do that. You need to be there taking care of your kids.
I'm getting this from Complex. That's where I'm reading all this information from. And at the time of this article where it was made, out of the 50,000, like I said, on the GoFundMe,
400.
She raised $385, less than $400.
Yikes.
So most people are with me and shit. Apparently, they like, fuck out of here. I'm not donating. I wouldn't.
Especially during this, especially in the climate that we're in now, because it's a lot of people out there who are hardworking people who lost their, like maybe when COVID happened, when their employers saw that, hey, instead of us paying 50 people to do this job, we could have just 10 people work remotely from home, and we could just close this office and save us some money. So now you're one of the people who lost your job and you were making good money. So now you got to take a lesser paying job. You have to take a job where you're making half of what you was making on your regular job. Like it's a lot of like those circumstances that's happened with people, and people just aren't as giving right now. Some people just aren't because of that circumstance. So, I mean, I guess luck to her about, good luck about your GoFundMe, good luck, because
you ain't even raised $400 like from this article. Like I said, I don't know when this was printed, but you're trying to raise 50,000 and you're not even at 400 yet. Even if you are like at the $1,000 mark now, like you way short of your mark. I haven't actually seen the GoFundMe. I'm just going by this article I'm reading. So, but I don't feel sorry for her. So you grown.
I mean, she's an adult, and like I said,
you got comfortable from that Dre money and
that Dre money.
Yeah.
You talk shit about him, yeah, because he this and this and that. Word got back to him. Oh, okay. You
now you talk shit, okay. Down with the shit talking is you're you still talking shit. Saying well he owes me. My mama, she should have got that 300,000. Yeah, the best thing that still like that 300,000. That would have been your mama's money. You still not.
I'm gonna tell you the best thing that you could do, honestly, sis. Latanya is her name. Latanya Young. The best thing, sis, that you could do: release a tell-all book and then shop your book around. And maybe you might make some money.
The book doesn't suck and you make some money and shit.
Right. Maybe you might make some money with that because people might want to hear the dirty dealings of Dr. Dre. So
even though we already saw that with Michelle A, she put a whole documentary out about that. But yeah, so maybe it's more out there. I don't know.
Maybe it's more to it.
We already
you
have.
Can vouch and be like Michelle A wasn't
law with Dr. Dre and shit. Maybe
you can vouch for her
too. I don't know. Yeah,
you can vouch and be like, yeah, Michelle A, it's not exaggerated because he did this to my mom or this and this and that, whatever. You can get your tell-all book and then shop that around with whatever money you make off your GoFundMe. Hopefully, like I said, your book sells, and if it sells, then you can make you some money.
Since we're talking,
that's the best advice I would say for her.
Since we're talking money, let's talk Dennis Schroeder, NBA guard, former Laker now. He's been around the league. He was with Atlanta Hawks. He was with the OKC Thunder. He's like traveled around. His last team was with the Lakers this past season, and apparently it's like mixed reviews, mixed stories about whether like the extension offer really happened. But apparently he turned down an extension offer from the Lakers for over $80 million. And now took an offer with the Celtics 1 year, $5.9 million. And I'm not saying that's nothing because obviously that's almost $6 million. That's money to like you and me. But if 80 million is like you turned down an extension like last year when the Lakers allegedly offered you an extension.
And how long is what? It's either 4 or 5 years.
4 years, 80. 4 years, like 80 plus million is like what the number is now. It's like basically what Lonzo Ball ended up getting with the Bulls.
So like over 20 million, like just over $20 million a year.
So that's what and Schroeder turned that down because allegedly he wanted 100 mil. He wanted like John Collins money or whatever, like he wanted the 100. So he didn't get it though. It's like the market decided they you can bet on yourself, but ultimately the market decides how much you're worth. You might think you're worth a certain amount, but the market decides.
Because hence Chris Paul turned down his money and he got more.
He turned down 45 million, which we were like,
turned down 45 million, but Chris Paul.
And the Phoenix Suns was like, okay, come on, we're gonna resign 100, okay.
But Chris Paul knew his value because he's like, look, I took this team to the finals. This team without me, look at this team before me. And I get on here, now we in the finals.
I'd be like if the Pistons made the finals like 2 years from now, like they
we're in the finals.
The worst team in the league. It's like that.
It can happen that fast. Like you put the right player on
a player like Chris Paul on there, you can turn
caliber.
That quickly.
Yeah. It could flip real quick. 2 years later, it could flip. You could be from one of the worst team to be in the finals. That can happen. It did. That can happen.
Once, but the Cavaliers they had the number one pick with Andrew Wiggins. And 2 years later, they won the title with LeBron. It's like you add LeBron to that team. It's like
LeBron.
A player like a LeBron or a Chris Paul is like you elevate a team to that elite status. And speaking of LeBron, I went going to my comment sections on Dennis Schroeder, an article about Dennis Schroeder and his contract woes and shit. Because I just looked at it, I was like, the L of the year. And of course, because the whole world revolves around.
What does LeBron have to do with
LeBron fucking James somehow? It's like the whole.
What does he have to do with?
That's what
besides the fact that he was his former teammate.
I'm gonna drop the word right now for the dumb niggas in the comment. It's like that's what they're like. It's like he didn't want to play with LeBron. That's why he turned that extension down. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna let LeBron mess up my bag.
I bet sure LeBron wasn't not on Dennis Schroeder's mind when he was going through the contract negotiations.
LeBron, who's already worth $1 billion, he's won 4 rings?
Yeah.
LeBron has 4 rings.
LeBron is making over like $45 million.
He's worth $1 billion.
It's like,
he became a billionaire while being an active player.
First active player ever to reach billionaire status.
He got his billion, and he got room to still grow for more. His production company's doing well. He getting his money. He got his rings. Rings with an S.
Space Jam. He's in movies.
Space Jam dropped.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure Schroeder wasn't even thinking about y'all are just obsessed with LeBron. That's the thing. That's what you would do as a dumbass. Like you would you'd fuck up your money and shit because
I'm gonna let him mess up my bag.
I'm not fucking my money up for LeBron. How does that affect LeBron James fucking up?
As Antoine Dawson would say, you are so dumb. It's like you guys, yeah, that
Y'all
is so
small-minded and petty and obsessed with LeBron. I don't like LeBron, so yeah, I'm gonna turn down this $80 million and take less. That'll show him.
Like, I ain't letting nobody mess up my paper.
That's not what happened. It's like it's the same. It's like saying that Laurie Marketing is in the situation because not exceeding like Zach LaVine. No, like Laurie Marketing bet on himself, and it's just he's still unsigned, so he's in a worse spot than Schroeder right now because at least Schroeder got an offer from the Celtics. Laurie Marketing is still unsigned right now.
And I get it as these players. Like I said, yes, to us, we may think that you're being stingy and being selfish, and you should be grateful if somebody offers you $80 million, $90 million. But if you feel like you can if you feel like you're $100 million status player, why would you take 80?
Players in the past have turned down extensions and it worked out.
Why would you do that then?
Jimmy Butler did it. He turned down an extension for like around $48 million is when he's with the Bulls. And then when he played his ass off, that's his contract year with the Bulls. The Bulls offered him like 90, I think, like, to keep him around. So like, yeah, he like doubled his money and shit pretty much. He bet on himself. James Harden did that as well with OKC. They offered him an extension. He turned it down. They trade him to Houston. He becomes one of the best players in the league and makes over $100 million the very next year. And and OKC had offered him something like 40, 45 or something like that. Yeah. And then when he went to Houston, he signed an extension for like over 100. So yeah. Once again, another guy who doubled his money. Yeah. So it can work when you bet on yourself, just like for Markkanen and Schroeder. It just didn't.
I said, but I get it. I totally get betting on yourself because what kind of person? Well, I know I'm not worth this amount, so I'm not even trying it. What? Of course people go out lowball. If you say, well, if you go into the negotiate, like you're at a job and a job is trying to get you and they're negotiating your salary. Are you going to start with your lowest offer or are you going to go high? You better go high and see if you can meet in the middle. You better be like, okay, I want this. And they'd be like, well, the most we can do is this. You don't come in and be like, well, I only think I'm worth this amount. And no, you don't do that. But I mean, I get why people bet on themselves. I get that. I totally get that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. Simple as that. Yeah, but he still got $6 million. Yeah, he still got $6 million. So hey, hats off to Schroeder for getting his $6 million still.
Let me read this.
It's goofy with that.
Yeah.
He'll be goofy as hell.
You hear about this story with Lewis? We're gonna shift to baseball. This is not really about sports, but the story is like too ridiculous for me to I don't know if you heard about this story with
what?
Lewis Brinson of the Miami Marlins, the Colorado Rockies.
I don't watch it. I know nothing about baseball.
It has nothing to do with baseball, the story, but you're gonna be into it because it's not even about baseball. It's just Lewis Brinson was up to bat. When the Marlins were playing the Colorado Rockies. For those that don't know, the Rockies, they have a mascot. His name is Dinger. Because in baseball, like dingers is
dingers
playing for home run. Yeah, you know that. Right. I'm sure. Yeah. When baseball was spying on Springfield, and they said, "You want me to tell you why we've been spying, or you want to see some dingers?" Ooh, dingers!
Dingers!
He steals the fucking the
files as we speak.
The records they've been spying on while they looking at the dingers and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a mascot named Dinger. So then when Brinson, who's a black guy, is up to bat, you hear a video like is a guy, an older guy behind home plate. And like on first glance, it does sound like very inappropriate. Because like if you get to look at the video, I'll get eventually when you get around to looking at it.
Okay.
It does sound like he's yelling the N-word. The fan sounds like and if you listen, it sounds like nigger. It sounds like that. It's like you're like, whoa. It's like, yeah, this is 2021. Like, yeah, wait, it's not Hank Aaron about to break Babe Ruth's record back in the day, or it's not Jackie Robinson making the majors back in the It's like, whoa, like you just hear that out of nowhere. And so the Colorado Rockies basically like they shitted on the fan, banned him for life and all of that. The usual is like we don't tolerate that. But then upon review, they analyzed the footage, listened to what he said. And he didn't say the N-word. He said Dinger because he was hollering for the mascot. Like when you go to Bulls game, you see Benny. like
Benny.
He's trying to get his attention. He was hollering for the mascot. And if you look at the tape, the guy is not even looking at the guy at the plate. He's looking at another direction, like dinger. And it sounds like nigger. It sounds like he's saying that. And if being an old white man, it just didn't look right.
It doesn't look right, yeah.
So I had to review it because at first I'm looking like, okay, like it's are people really that bold to go in the middle?
Yeah, are you really that bold to do this?
A game on television with camera.
Right, that's kind of out there.
Where did a guy at the plate? Now look, he says dinger if you listen. You gotta listen and pay attention, but he says dinger. Oh yeah. So now they calling what made the story ridiculous is Lewis Brinson, the guy with the plate. They calling him the new Jussie Smollett, basically, because he's saying that he still hears the N-word when he watches, even though he didn't say it. His eyes keep hearing it. Yeah, I think he said.
Stop being a victim. Stop making yourself be a victim.
I want slavery back so bad. It's like, old man was like, he had a game trying to get a mascot's attention because he was there with his grandkids. He wanted to get a pic with Dinger with his grandkids.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that makes sense because how cool is that?
Nearby, he's like, Dinger.
Because I would want my kids to. Well, we did get like a video with Benny the Bull because Benny the Bull dumped popcorn at us at the Bulls game. So Ariana did get Benny the Bull to be over there with her dumping popcorn.
Benny was like, he was down the ways a little bit. You try to get his attention. Like,
right.
Benny, come on.
Yeah, we would be like, Benny, yeah.
It's like that, yeah.
And mascots love kids because that's what their job is. Like, you're supposed to be family-friendly, entertaining.
Even though we're grown, we like them too, but it's really for the kids.
It's for the kids, right. So if a parent or a grandparent or whatever is trying to get your attention, most mascots will, whatever they're doing, they will go to like make a child's day. Like, you will go, but okay, I'm going to make this kid's day. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take some pictures. We're going to have some fun. But
why does Negroes just want everything to be racist? It's like, sir, I thought that he said it too, but when I listen, I said, okay.
When you analyze it, yeah.
Like if you listen, you can hear it sounds like Dinger, and like he's not even looking at the guy at the plate, he's looking the other way. So he's probably looking over, he probably is trying to get the mascot's attention. Like the evidence suggests that he probably didn't say the N-word, but you just gotta now he wants the mascot's name changed, I guess because Washington and Cleveland, like the team now, like you want the word Dinger Band or whatever because of it. Like Lewis Brinson has said he wants the word Dinger Band. So I guess they never gonna air that episode of The Simpsons if that happens. They never gonna air that episode again.
My thing is, let's not play like
it sounds too much like the N-word. So I think
don't play the race card if it doesn't need to be played. It's plenty of situations.
And the irony of it is like the dude never even heard it. Like Lewis Brent never even heard the fan when he was at plate. If it really was like the N-word, when you like look, you're like, yeah, like you
exactly.
Black, you hear that, like our ears perk up, we hear that shit. So
yeah.
Like, clearly you didn't even hear it at the plate. You didn't even look away. Like, what did he say?
Because I heard someone say it when I was in college. I heard someone say it. And then when they realized that I was in earshot, then they like changed what they said. Then they like said something different. I was like, but I know that you said it. I was like, I heard you say the N-word.
I heard it at Lollapalooza.
I heard you say it.
When they played Chief Keef and said, "We scared, nigga, woo, Ric Flair," and like you got 100,000 white folks. And I was like, I just walked away. I said, I'm not taking on. I know what fights. I know what fights not to take on.
What fights not to? Yeah.
I said, yeah, I'm not. I don't want that smoke. I just walked away. I just went back to the press because, like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Not that woke. Well, I was like, I'm going to try to fight all of them. Okay. And they were singing a song, so I was like, okay, I get it. So let me just walk away before.
No, I heard. No, the person
let me just walk away.
The person was saying context. They said they were going to dress up as a basketball player because they were going to dress up like the N-word. So they said in the racist context, it wasn't in a song. They said it because they wanted. It was like around Halloween. They said they were going to dress up as a basketball player and be an N-word or something. They said, and I was like, what? I was like, huh? Like, hey. What'd you say?
But you probably should just drop it because like you're really making it worse by doing this because guess what? The longer that Lewis Brinson keeps this out there is somebody probably really is going to yell the N-word when he's at
exactly
just because people do shit like that just to be assholes.
Just to trigger you, just to be.
Yeah. Well, like you could have just said, okay, the fan didn't say, but like especially like if you are like we call them one of them tiki torch fans. And you say like, and he's like, and then you say like, he clearly didn't say the N-word, but if you want to hear the N-word, okay, I got one for you. It's like, yeah. Since you're going to accuse of being racist, let's really be racist. It's people that do that. It's like,
people who don't have anything to lose. There's some people, like you said, the tiki twins who have nothing
to play the racist card. Like, yeah, let's just go all the way with it.
Who don't care about being banned? Who don't care about that? Yeah,
come to the game, and every time he's at play, it's going to chant that shit. It's like, yeah, so you're actually creating bullshit where it's not. It's like, yeah, that's my opinion. It's like somebody's really going to shout this at him. I think eventually, probably sooner rather.
I say just let it go. I mean. It was a misinterpretation.
Kept it moving. You say, "Well, I thought he called me that, but he probably didn't." So fuck it. It's like keep it moving. But he wants to be Jussie Smollett so bad. Oh, Jussie is still claiming that MAGA attacked him.
Gay Tupac. He said he was a gay Tupac. What? I was done with Jussie when he said,
I want to be Jussie Smollett so bad, man.
When he said he was a gay Tupac, I was officially done. I was officially done with that. I was like, Tupac, you are not.
And the real reason I'm doing this is to bring attention. Because like I said, you didn't know who the fuck he was before this. So yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
So now he's trying to make his name out. So now he's trying to get he wants him a Nike commercial like Colin Kaepernick now. That's all that is pretty much.
Colin Kaepernick actually was profiled.
He's trying to use this to like help his pockets. So I know why.
He did get hate.
I know why he's doing this shit. He's trying to help his pockets. That's what he said. Hey,
Colin Kaepernick, no.
I could be Colin Kaepernick a baseball. I'm gonna keep pushing this.
No. No, Colin Kaepernick actually did stand for social justice. You didn't. He actually did give up his career for social justice. He actually did.
And you
didn't.
Yeah, so. Right,
you didn't. So it's not the same. You are not Colin Kaepernick. Just stop.
Let's get on sports for a little while too. I don't know if you checked out the documentary. It's on Netflix. If you haven't, you and Marcus, y'all will definitely get a kick out of this. They got a brand new documentary. It's called The Malice, the Palace. Yes.
Now people talking about that. Okay.
I watched it last night.
Okay.
Watched it last night, man. Like dope. 2
hours?
It's 1 hour. It's real easy to get.
Okay.
I'm probably got to watch it without the kids.
Of course.
Jackson, come on. There's a lot of F-bombs in this damn documentary.
And then it's and then it's the Malice, so it's fighting. So duh. I don't want the kids seeing that.
And they show it was November 19th, 04, I think is when this happened. Let me get the exact date. I want to say, I was watching the game when it happened because I was living in Indiana at the time.
You were.
Bulls were trash and shit, so I had adopted the Pacers as my home team. Because remember this during the rebuild, the Bulls sucked.
Right.
04. It's before they had started turning around, but they still were pretty bad in 04. So yeah, they didn't really turn it around. So 06-ish is when they really started. Okay, now that's when you started to say, okay.
They being Gordon during that time, yeah.
They just drafted Gordon. Yeah. Gordon and Ding just got drafted in the 04 draft. So they were rookies, so they weren't.
Yeah, so they were rookie. I said, but by 06, they were developed. They had started development. You could see their potential, them by 06, yep.
So yeah. Yep. I was right, November 19th, 2004, yeah. Wait, Auburn Hills is like a suburb of Detroit, so technically it wasn't Detroit, but yeah, the Palace of Auburn Hills is where it happened. Pacers, Pacers were beating the shit. I'm gonna explain for those that don't know the story, I follow basketball like that. It was let's just rewind a little bit and go back the previous year, Eastern Conference Finals, the 04 Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers Pistons. And it was like a bloodbath. It was like the old Bulls Pistons rivalries from back in the day. Very physical this series. And Detroit ends up taking it. They end up going to the finals. And what happened that year?
And beating the Lakers.
They beat the Lakers. So
they upset the Lakers.
The Pacers look back. They that's our title. We should have won it. They got a chip on their shoulder now. They're that's our title. So we could have.
We fumbled it. Yeah, we could have beat the Lakers.
Especially Reggie was personal too, because Reggie had lost to the Lakers before in 2000. Remember for Shaq first ring. So Reggie was okay, could have got my win back and got my first ring. So it was personal, going to the following season, the 04-05 season. So now, when fast forward, they got Steven Jackson during the off season, so they actually improved the roster they had. And that Pacers roster was deep. Like I said, yeah. They had Reggie, they had Artest, they had Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal. Those it was pretty, so think about that compared to what the Bulls were doing at the time. Now you see why I was a Pacers fan during that time. Like, you got that roster versus the fucking trash ass Bulls roster with Eddie Curry and like that. Come on, who you gonna watch? And that Pacers team was beating the shit out of the defending Detroit champs in this game. Yeah, 97-82 was what ended up being the final score. But the Pacers led this whole game. They led by like 20 at one point. So, for whatever reason, the starters were still in the end of the game during the fourth quarter. It was like, so the Malice never had to happen if they had just pulled their starters. Like both teams had starters in at the end of this game.
Right. It's like this game is over.
Just because it was that personal, like neither one of them wanted to like take their foot off the gas. That's the only thing I could see. But really, like it's like because the Malice happened with like 45 seconds left in the game. The game was
down. Even still in the game.
The Pistons were not coming back. They were down 82-97. They were not coming back.
They were not coming back.
Like a 15-point lead.
That's 15 points in 45 seconds.
And Tracy McGrady was not in the game. And Reggie didn't even play in that game. He was injured. It's like,
even Reggie couldn't have made it.
But Reggie didn't even play. Like he was right. Injured. Yeah. And so it happens. Ben Wallace is going for a layup. Yeah, in the like 45-second mark. And Ron Artest fouls him hard. And here's what they told in the documentary. Like they were giving like more context to everything. They were saying that Ron had owed him from the previous year, basically, because tell you that Eastern Conference final, like
it was a bloodbath, yeah.
So he said, okay, I'm gonna get my foul back now. I guess Ben had fouled the previous year. So Ron just said that's why he fouled him hard right there. He said, okay, okay, we got this game in the bag. I'm about to go fuck him up right now.
And both of them, as I call them, they're both dark alley guys. Both Ben Wallace and Ron Artest are definitely dark alley guys. Both of them. They are.
Both former Bulls too. So there you go.
Both dark alley dudes. They are both dudes that you do not want to fuck with. Neither one of them you want to fuck with.
For the Bulls, I actually had a Wallace jersey back in the day when I had fro with the hair. Yeah, so I had Wallace. I got to find this in that closet. So I still have that Ben Wallace jersey. So I should have wore it in honor of the Malice. My Bulls Wallace jersey, not the Detroit one. I'd never wear a Pistons jersey.
So then he fouls him hard.
And Ben Wallace, I think his brother had just died. I think they said so. He
had lost a family member. Yeah, so I remember hearing that he lost a family member. Yeah,
the foul combined with him being already in a pissed off mood because of his I want to say his brother. He shoves Ron, like Ben's big dude, like 6'11", like 250. He shoves him like damn near shoves him halfway across the court. It's like, and by then it's like both benches empty to like calm the whoa. It's like
whoa, yeah. Cooler heads prevail.
So Ron Artest, who talked about, you said he was already in therapy even back then. That's why we look at it differently now because like mental health wasn't really big. It's like almost
it wasn't.
Yeah. So Ron was like, I was already in therapy then. Like the first thing my therapist told me is like to get out of situations, like just stay calm. So he lays down on the table and he was like he was in a therapy session. It's like, but I taken out of context to those fans, ignorant ass Piston fans.
You look good.
It looks like he's mocking. Like
you're mocking him.
Yeah.
But and then the other thing that I want to chime in on is that when people said that when people like he was scared to fight Wallace. No, he wasn't scared to fight Wallace. It's like that man was going to therapy, so who knows what could have happened? Like, he could have killed him. It's
like when you feel yourself about to be in a situation,
right? So you just have to de-escalate,
step back and chill out. It's like, and that's what he did. And that's why he laid down. He said like laying down like he's in a therapy session.
And he has headphones on.
He put the headphones. He tried to get his grounded, his zen going on. He was like, okay, yeah. He might have been meditating. I don't know. Yeah, he put the headphones. He might have been like going and meditating. A lot of people do that. Yeah, you try to meditate to calm yourself down. It's like and Ben Wallace, like I said, him being in his state of mind. He escalated the situation even further because his teammates try to hold him back. Wallace, he wears like all kinds. He wore kind of headbands and armbands, like all this crap he wore. So he starts like throwing his shit at Artest, like pulling off the headbands and all of that stuff. And so the fans just follow what you're there. Like they follow. Yeah, fans are followers. Yeah,
they are.
You see Ben Wallace throwing shit. What are you gonna do? So like they broke all this down in the documentary. They showed all of it. They say like when Wallace starts throwing the armbands and the headbands, it's like then Reggie Miller was right there with Artest because he was like trying to calm him down. Like he was like, okay, you good? Like, yeah. And then called him.
They were trying to get Wallace out, but like they said, once again, Wallace is 6'11", 250 pounds. He's a big fucking guy. Because they were like, and Wallace has been ejected. They were trying to get him off the court.
Wallace had already been ejected, and but you can't. He's like enraged, like I said now. So like
you're not even 6'11".
Even his teammates couldn't get him off of that court.
You're not even 6'11", but let's say that if you're enraged and I'm trying to hold you back, I cannot hold you back if you're already enraged. You would just push past me about my eyes. No, eyes. No, eyes.
Headbands over the direction. And then like Reggie was right there, and he said, "I could see it out the corner of my eye. It was like in slow motion. I saw that cup coming in slow motion. Boom! Right on Ron's chest is like as he's laying there. Of course, Ron jumps up and like said, "These guys are like in shape, so like he sprints like he looks like Usain Bolt the way he sprinted in the fucking crowd."
Yeah. Ron Artest is what 6'8", 6'8", like 230,
some 230. Like that. He's a big guy, yeah.
Like 230, big fucking guy.
Hits him, he leaves like a cheetah.
In one step. In one motion.
He gets into that crowd. And the irony, the guy he grabbed wasn't even a guy that threw the cup. It was another guy, he grabbed the wrong guy. And like he gets on him. He said, Artest is in the stands. Like the fans are like going crazy.
That's my favorite. That's all I remember from the Malice fan. And Artest is in the stands. That's all I remember.
The fans in that section swarm Artest. Steven Jackson, being a street dude, is like, you ain't doing my home. So he runs out there.
On my watch.
As the fans are like mobbing him, like a second fan threw a beer in Artest's face too. And Steven Jackson is out of nowhere, just like jacks the shit out of him. He's like, I saw another one of them threw a beer in his face while he ran, and I just punched the shit out of that guy. And he just knocks him out. Yeah. So now it's like totally out of control. Like fans are just they completely lost their shit now. So eventually, they do get Artest back onto the court, and it seems like it's over. But now some little fat fuck, another fan is down there and shit.
Why are you on the court?
Yeah, and they showed all these fans. They in the documentary. They show them like now talking, and they show the fat guy talking. He's like, yeah, sorry, yeah. He still wouldn't admit his part. Is like how he said like they like security like was trying to get us out of the area, so they pushed us down that way. Like, I think you probably
motherfucker.
That's just how I think
we've been to Bulls games before, and if a fight break out, my ass is not going nowhere near the place. I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm not going nowhere near these players. I don't want to get hit.
So the guys on the court, and if you're really trying to get away, why are you walking in Artest's direction?
Right.
He wasn't walking away. He's walking towards Artest on the court. Artest, he just decks this guy. And now a whole nother melee breaks out. Like, this is like the one, not the one in the stands. It's a whole nother brawl. So
I remember that when he decked him.
3 brawls that broke out is why he called it the Malice. The first one was between Wallace and Artest on the court. Second one was Artest in the stands with Steven.
Artest in the stands.
The third one is like, when the fat fuck comes down and like he's like getting in his face, like, and you watch the video, he is walking towards Artest, like when Artest hits him. So it's like Artest had every right to defend himself. Like if you're on the court, like you're in my territory. In the stands, I give you that's your area, but down here, you shouldn't even be down here. So I have every right to hit you.
And my thing is,
I feel I'm threatened. I have every right to hit you.
My thing is, you better leave these players alone. It's like, would you walk up to a 6'8" guy on the street and talk shit to his face? Yeah. Would you do that in real life? No, you wouldn't.
Then as this brawl is going on, like, which you probably remember this, is like, which at the time was hilarious. I'm about to say, like, because now he sees Ron getting attacked by like a couple other fans, the fat guy and like his homies. He had his crew there and shit now.
I said
he runs like once again, like a cheetah and shit. Like these guys
are in shape.
They run for like basketball. You run up and down the court.
These guys are in shape.
So he runs and like, and he's like, and he slips is like, so that's what made it like it's safe.
Like a baseball slide.
Yeah, and it looks like he did a baseball slide. He really
did a home run.
Punch, yeah. But he slips, like it's like beer and shit.
It's wet, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he slipped. And Reggie Miller said it was like it's probably the greatest miss that Jermaine had ever hit his career. If he had hit that guy at full steam, he probably would have killed him. Jermaine was what 7 feet, 250. It's like he probably would have killed the guy if he had hit him at full speed. But the slip slowed the punch down a little bit though. So the guy didn't get the full like punch. They show him like his lip is all swollen up now. So he got enough of that punch and shit. Yeah.
It would have been finish him. Yeah,
the guy would have been dead. If Jermaine had got him at full speed running, he's like, They saw the guy now talking shit. It's like, yeah, he sucker punched me. I think it was a bitch move and shit. But say that to his face right now.
I'm trying to see some. Here's me being the paid documentary, the paid dot maker. Well, we have Jermaine O'Neal here right now. Come on.
What you said is a what move? I didn't hear that last comment.
I'm a different kind of petty. Well, we have him right now. Come on out.
Poured a Ricky Lake on you. Well, guess who we have in the other room?
I grew up in the 90s, right? Get my Ricky Lake on. Ding dong.
Guess who we have at the door? Former Pacer Jermaine O'Neal. Hilarious.
How fast would he shit his pants if that happened there?
Now, the next problem with the Malice is after all of this bullshit that happened, it's like, how do we get these motherfuckers out of here and shit now?
Yeah.
You see Reggie Miller and Chuck Person, who's a former Pacer and who was an assistant coach at that time. They trying to get him out of, they like covering up, trying to cover Ron's face. They walk him off the court. And of course, the fans around the tunnel, like now every fan is coming that area. Like even the ones from the cheap seats have come down. They just showered and were like throwing crap at him, dumping as they getting him out of the tunnel. I forgot before they left there, because the police were involved too. They showed the cops that were at the. It's like two cops in the whole building. The two cops trying to control like 30,000 people. It's like two cops in the whole building. It's like so like when the stuff starts going down, they show one of the cops. He has his pepper spray thing out in his hand. He's about to run up to Ron and pepper spray him, but Reggie Miller jumps in front and it's like, no, like, you're not doing. And the cop, here's the funny part: cop didn't even know who Reggie Miller was. They saw Steven Jackson, so I was like, how the fuck you not know who Reggie Miller is? It's like, because Reggie, he was in a suit. He wasn't in uniform.
Reggie Miller.
No, he's one of the most famous players in the world.
One of the most famous players in the world.
Well, he has his pepper spray, about to pepper spray Ron. Reggie jumps, is like, no, you're not doing. And then he tries to like get Reggie off the court. He's like, motherfucker, I'm with the team. I'm Reggie. I am the Pacers, motherfucker.
I am the Pacer. I am Mr. Pacer.
Like,
when you think about the Indiana Pacers, who's the first name? Let's do correlation. Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan.
Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James. It's like Indiana
Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade.
Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller.
Let's do word association.
So the cop asks, like, are you with the team? I am the team.
I am the fucking team, dude.
He did not know who Reggie Miller was. The cop didn't even.
Especially we saw Reggie Miller. The Spike Lee feud, like even if you don't watch, like everybody, that was a feud around the world, him and Spike Lee. You didn't see that on TV?
They stole the Steven Jackson, man. So how the fuck do I know who Reggie Miller is?
How do you not know Reggie Miller? Just dumb.
Because he's not in uniform. Like,
I would know Reggie Miller in a mask from 50 feet away if we were out like with COVID.
Reggie was on the Masked Singer. You would know who he was.
It's Reggie.
Well, yeah. So then after that, it's because like I did like how the Pacers they were a real team during all of that. Yeah. Like they weren't like when Jackson ran into the stands to help Artest, and Reggie jumps in front of the cops like, nah, you ain't about to pepper spray my dude.
Yeah. Because Reggie, as much as and that's funny because Reggie, as much shit as he taught and he's like an instigator, he was a cool head. He was the level-headed one in all of this. He was trying to diffuse the situation. He was trying to keep things calm, like, no, we're going to be peaceful. He was trying to keep stuff together. But Reggie, I said, them days when he played us. Yeah. He was an instigator.
I'd never forget the 98 Easter Conference Finals.
The shove.
7 games. The shove was game 4, I think. Yeah, the shove, yeah.
The shove is what I'm still mad about. Yeah. Yes, I'm still mad all these years later. That was a foul. He should have got a foul.
It led to the game winner. I never forget that series.
Jump in a circle.
Yeah. But so then after all of that, when they finally do get our test, it's like, now how do we get him out of here? Because these fans are like out of control. And like obviously the cops aren't going to help. They come in to pepper spray us. They're not going to help us get out of here. Like the cops are against us. Like how the fuck we get out of here? So like Reggie and Chuck Person, they covering Ron's head up, trying to get him out. Fans showering him with crap. Is all that. Then they get in the tunnel. And Steven Jackson's right behind him coming in. And Steven Jackson, he's like reveling in it. It's like a wrestling heel. Like we just watched Attitude Era. He's like a bad guy. He's like, yeah, like basically taunting the Pistons fans. Like, yeah, shower me with the shit when he's walking out. Yeah.
You say he's a street dude. He's a street guy. So hey.
And then when they show footage from in the tunnel in this documentary, exclusive, never before seen footage. They show him like in the tunnel.
I want to watch this. I want to watch this tonight. Yeah.
Jackson is like, we ride together, goddamn it! Like he's like, yeah, like when he rips his jersey, hey, we ride together, goddamn it, yeah.
Okay. I like Steven Jackson even more now because he's a real one. He's a real one. I like him even more.
Loyal. I like people that are loyal to theirs. He's loyal to his. So then they show them like Jermaine O'Neal when he comes out. And O'Neal, they showering him with all kinds of crap. Jermaine tried to go back out. They showed that from the tunnel. When they get him back, he like turns around, trying to go back. His teammates, they holding him back. But Jermaine was ready to go. Like he probably saw that threw something in his face. He's like, "Fuck that!" He tried to go back out. He's
another dark alley guy too. He's another dark alley.
Man tried to go back out, and they had to pull him away.
But my thing is, I reiterate this. You said he was what, like 7 feet, 250 pounds.
If he's a center, yes, he's like 7 feet 250.
So if he's 7 feet 250 pounds, would you throw crap in this 7-foot guy's face on the street? Would you do that? No, you would not, because you feel protected because you're in the arena. You feel protected.
What sucked is originally when this story happened was the narrative. Like I didn't like the narrative. Yeah. It was all about the players were at fault. There's like a few reporters that put it on the fans. Like shout out Stephen A. Smith did say that the fans were at fault. It's like we should always put it on the fans. Like if that guy doesn't throw that cup, is like none of this ever happens. It was just the melee on like stuff on the court happens all the time. Like right. That's what I was saying. It was like, yeah, like that happens all the time.
Like eventually they would have been able to get.
They would have got Wallace out of there.
They would have got him off the court.
And ran the clock down, like, and they would have been
over.
And
Artest would have just kept on doing what he was doing.
They probably would have got him out of there too. Like Artest might have been ejected too. I don't know. So they would have got Artest and Wallace out of there, ran the clock out, and that would have been it. It would have ended there. Like the cup is what turned it into the Malice. It was just a regular like basketball fight. That happens all the time. So yeah. It's like when like I said with Kirk Heinrich and Rondo back in the day. Like if a fan threw something, it would have turned into something else. See, we don't do that in Chicago though. That's some ignorant ass Detroit fans. We don't do that.
And then they claim that we're so rough in Chicago. Well, our fans don't do shit like that. We just talk. I mean, we'll talk shit. We'll talk shit. That's what you do. Like we from Chicago. We do the dozens. We from Chicago. We do that. We roast you. And then, goofy ass. You know, we call you goofy ass and roast you. That's what we do in Chicago.
And then the suspensions that came down, man. Whew. Rest of the season, our test was out the rest of the season. So you got 73 games plus playoffs. His suspension, yeah. So it was on 73 plus 13, so 86 games total. The longest suspension in NBA history at this point, yeah. And then Steven Jackson got 30 games for running in the stands.
For his involvement, yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal, 25 game suspension originally, which he got his reduced because he fought it. He's like, so he got it reduced to 15, but still 15 games is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But he got 10 of those games back though, at least. So he got it. And Ben Wallace got suspended 6 games. Even though technically he's kind of the one who started, he got the
he was the catalyst. He was the catalyst of this. He was.
But he got 6. And then they finally did like start coming after these fans. Like they prosecuted a bunch of the fans. It's like I think none of them. I think only one did jail time though. There's only one of the fans that jail. So I'm trying to get the fans' names. I want to. I like putting names out there, so we're gonna get all these motherfuckers' names and shit. Legal charges. Let me find it in this article. Oh yeah, John Green is the asshole that threw the cup, by the way. So we're gonna put his name up there first. John Green, John Ackerman, Bryant Jackson, William Paulson, David Wallace. That's Ben Wallace's brother was one of the fans. Okay, I didn't know he was there. So he got some time too. Like I think a lot of them got probation and fines. Like I think only one guy did jail time. I'm trying to find Yeah, the one who threw the cup, John. Yeah, Green. He got 30 days in jail and 2 years probation. So yeah, so he's the only one that did jail time.
And he got banned for life, right?
And banned for life from all Pistons games, like for the rest of his life. So he can never attend a Pistons game again. So yeah, lifetime ban. He did a little jail time and got probation. And from what I'm reading, I can't read. I don't think any of the players outside of the money they lost in wages from the suspensions. I don't think it was any civil suits or nothing. You know, fans trying to come up and all that.
Yeah, they're trying to come up.
I couldn't find anything, so I think I don't think any of it because once they reviewed the footage and saw the defense,
like you were the aggressor.
Like so, like the lawyers probably told him it's like you're not gonna get any money.
You're not gonna get shit.
Because I couldn't find any civil suits that were filed.
Because here's the thing: if you're the aggressor, no matter how much money someone has, if I go up to Mike Tyson and I start taunting Mike Tyson, and he punches me. I'm not going to get nothing. I'm taunting Mike Tyson.
That's on me for talking shit.
I'm taunting Mike Tyson. Why would I do that? Why?
But check it out. Yeah, dope ass documentary on Netflix, The Malice, and that created animosity with a lot of the Pacers players had because after this, Ron after his suspension was over and all of that, he asked to be traded. Mm-hmm. Like he was like, I don't think I can ever come back from this. But yeah, right. I'd say the Pacers are pretty much over because you can't live that down. That's what Ron was saying. Mm-hmm. And a lot of his team, like Steven Jackson and Joe Mills, like we put everything on the line for you, and you're just gonna leave us. So like it created animosity. And Jermaine O'Neal talking about, especially when Ron won that ring with the Lakers later.
With the Lakers, yeah.
Like, and you get rewarded for the championship. It was like and Jermaine never got one, so he said he had beef with Ron for years over that. Mm-hmm. So, because Jermaine O'Neal said probably suffered the most because like he was in his prime. like Reggie suffered because Reggie that was probably Reggie's only last chance of getting the ring. Reggie was by then. He was like Reggie retired at the end of that season, but that in his prime, it basically fucked his prime up.
Reggie was like damn near 40 by then, yeah.
Reggie retired at the end of that season, so and that's what they talked about that too. Like we missed the Reggie's only shot to get a ring. They felt bad about that, but at least Reggie he was old near the end of his career. Jermaine was like in his prime when that happened. That kind of like career. And just for the record, the Palace is gone now. So like the ghost of the Malice is gone forever. They imploded it last summer, like summer of 2020, because the Pistons moved back into downtown Detroit now. So they got an arena. So like Jermaine O'Neal was like, yeah, like he was happy when that motherfucker got employed. He was like, yeah, because he found part of my spirit is still in that building. He's like, so like put it up, like that. I feel that weight lifted off of me finally when they So
dope doc, I'm about to check it out. I might check it out. I might watch it tonight. Yeah. Might have an activity to watch tonight after the kids go to bed.
Yeah. Really good. Yeah. As a basketball fan, I appreciate that as well. It's really good doc here. But that's all I got. We ran long as fuck talking about
it's all good. We talk basketball. We run long on basketball.
Definitely appreciate you supporting Not Another Damn Podcast. Episode 220. You want to support us further? Here's how. Give that Facebook fan page a like. Hit that like button. Also subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. Talking about Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What up, Tasha?
Hey.
Also your Amazon Alexa devices and a little YouTube, a little something like that. That's fine.
Right.
We at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know how I do it.
And you can check me out, MSIMH626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULLEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
Well, I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm gone.